learning experience, bridging the gap between teachers, learners and parents through digital connection, research and innovation. These pocket-sized devices have become the new classroom companions, opening doors to knowledge beyond the traditional chalkboard. At the Digital Skills Factory, Chief Executive Officer Anne believes smartphones have become essential for research, online trade, financial inclusion, and lifelong learning. She stresses that access must be made affordable for both teachers and students.
So there's a lot of ways that we can use a smartphone. So let's start by making sure that the head teachers and the teachers are aware of 21st century teaching and learning and 21st century skills that we need for employment, because those are the things that will drive this country to the next stage.
Sometimes you use the smartphone to make research about the content you are going to teach. You know, information keeps on changing. But with the smartphone, you research, you teach current and updated work. To exchange different study materials, you can connect the phone to the projector and use it in teaching. You can also use the smartphone if you are, like you are doing an audio lesson, a listening lesson. You go, you record, then you pray, and the children can answer questions afterwards. We also have different WhatsApp groups for parents. Like each class has a WhatsApp group for the parents, so that in case there is any communication, we communicate to the parents about the school activities. Schools should put in place Wi-Fi so that teachers can easily access internet, so that they can carry out the research and use the smartphones.
Other things that can be done is financing schemes. The other part is manufacturing in the country.
At Victoria University, Vice-Chancellor Dr. Lawrence Mugangas champions the smartphone as a tool of academic empowerment, a portable library that connects learners to the world.
I want us to look at a smartphone as a learning tool. When it comes to educating a Ugandan child, really government should step in. Government should support these institutions. When we are importing this equipment, maybe we need to be exempted taxes. Lift that burden from us and let us use the limited resources we have to have as much equipment as possible. So even those people who are selling to education institutions, please provide them with subsidies such that they can sell those equipment to us cheaply or on an affordable kind of price. Once you become digitally competent, it's like speaking a language. We have Ugandans who can speak very good English, but digitally they are not competent. So no, and yet, if they had those two, Ugandans are good people. So if they had those two, plus their character, it means we become affordable labor for United States, affordable labor for Canada, affordable labor for Europe. If we complement what we bring from those countries to this country, and then we complement it with the coffee we grow, with the animals we raise, we become a developed country.
The director of e-learning Uganda, Alex Mokama, says the journey toward digital transformation begins with the teachers. Working with the Ministry of Education, efforts are underway to retool educators and integrate digital learning into the national curriculum.
If the government can come up with a policy and say these smartphones can be introduced in a home and a school, they can be able to reduce the taxes. They give maybe tax holidays or something like that, so that this is an affordable tool for every home for children to be able to work with their teachers even when they are not at school.
At Kampala Quality Primary School, pupils like Arinitwe Blessing and Jamim are already part of the digital shift.
I use the phone for receiving work, sending it back to my teacher for entertainment and chatting with my friends. When I'm sending work, when the teacher gives me work, I write it, I give the answers, then I send back the work. The teacher can say, or I can research for the answers of the work.
If they give you work on papers, papers can get spoiled easily, they can get lost, they can even get wet.
But if you get to work on phones, it can easily be kept there. It can be kept for future use. It won't get spoiled and it won't get lost.
Their parents appreciate the convenience, staying connected to schools, receiving updates instantly.
The smartphone has actually helped me, access education materials, for my child, in a bit of helping them, do their homeworks, and also ease basically communication between myself, my child, and the school.
A smartphone can be used by a teacher or an IT person as a teaching material, as a learning aid. You can use it to illustrate to students when you are maybe teaching about communication devices, such as the modern communication means of communication, such things. So it can be used by a teacher as a learning aid.
For university students like Erich Masela and Mujuni Kasim, smartphones are indispensable for academic research, online lectures, and digital collaboration.
With Victoria University, it's a hybrid kind of learning. We have both physical classes and we have also online classes. So when I'm not available at campus physically, when I'm in a taxi or maybe I'm at my workplace, I'm able to access the classes using the phone. I can just log into my vClass, which is the learning app that we use, and then I attend my lectures.
They say affordable internet and reduced taxes on smartphones could help most students benefit from digital learning.
I would come to say that really that a smartphone is a necessity for every student, despite in university or primary or secondary. So I urge the government to come to see that the use of a smartphone is more than a communication tool, but it takes a responsibility in enhancing one's education.
Meanwhile, the Guild President of Victoria University, Emanuela Aruha, believes that embracing smartphones in education will accelerate digital transformation, ease student management, and promote innovation across campuses.
I can make any form of payment for my tuition, I can attend any class, I can submit any form of an assignment, talk about coursework, talk about examination, and life has been made much more easier. The economy of Uganda, much as I'm in education, is looking into that direction of digitalizing, and therefore things like these, tools like this, can be made easier so that we can make communication with ease, do research and all other things that we wish to do on our mobile phones.
From primary classrooms to university lecture halls, smartphones are no longer luxury gadgets. They are the new engines of learning, innovation, and opportunity. As Uganda advances towards a digital economy, experts agree lowering smartphone costs, improving internet access, and empowering teachers will shape a smarter, more connected generation.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Everyone has a life story to tell, but an incredible life story is shared and told differently. Tonight, we take you on a journey through 3 decades of dedication, innovation, and impact. Welcome to Incredible Life Stories with Simon Kasiate, featuring Aram Enterprises, Uganda's forward-thinking home of sale, distribution, and more recently, manufacturing of veterinary medicines. For 30 years, Aram has stood at the crossroads of science and service, ensuring that veterinarians, farmers, and communities have access to high-quality medicines that protect animal health and support livelihoods. From its humble beginnings to its evolution into a fully integrated veterinary solutions company, Aram has been steered by 2 visionary co-founders who embody the spirit of perseverance, integrity, and partnership. Tonight, I sit and stand, respectively and literally, with Dr. Alice Banga and Mr. Edward Muhijirwa, whose shared dream transformed into a sustainable enterprise that touches the farms, clinics, and laboratories across Uganda and beyond. They will share the motivations that sparked Aram's journey, the challenges they navigated, the milestones that defined the last 30 years, and what the future holds for veterinary medicine in Africa. Join us as we delve into the stories behind the products, the people who make it possible, and the commitment to healthier animals, thriving communities, and responsible innovation.
I am Dr. Banga Alice, and I wear really many hats. I have a family, I have children, and also many other people I look after.
My name is Edward Mwingirwa Tumuheirwe.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Where were you born? When were you born? To whom were you born?
I was born from former Kabale, Karenjeri, Rubanda by then sub-county, now district.
Now the district, yes.
Yes. And then, yeah, that is it. My father was Yeremia Kamujisha, and my mother is Mrs. Yeremia Teresia.
So your father was what in terms of profession? An ordinary peasant?
Yeah, ordinary. We used to call them peasant, but I would like to say a farmer.
He was a farmer, yes.
Yeah, because it is from what we're doing that managed to make us go up to university.
I am lucky that I was raised well, I was protected, and I got a good education, and finally I ventured into business, but it was not without problems at first, because the journey to even starting the business that is the subject of today's interview, it was a long journey even before that.
First of all, we are people of the time of, during Amin's time in a way, when actual education was no longer considered. And most of my friends actually dropped out. And I was almost following suit.
What saved you?
I would say luck, but there was one gentleman who is called Innocent Bisangwa, son of Mbuguje. He was in secondary school. And he was working with his father. I looked at him. He's my role model.
You found him admirable?
Yes, I looked at him, the way he was working with his father. He was pushing a bicycle. In my heart, I said, can I also be like him? That's what pushed me.
Straight after university, after graduating, indeed, I joined public service, was posted in a number of districts, orbit everything.
Wow.
Yes. Then when I realized some resources, that is actually when I went and joined trading in veterinary medicines, and that time it was at Container Village, so I would pool resources with a number of friends. We go and purchase, we come back, we share, and each one sells from their little place, but until 1995, when ERAM, Uganda Limited, was incorporated, and we started ERAM as at that time.
Because of the nature of that time, I told you almost I was about to be swept off. There was this kind of, we used to study from Monday to Thursday. Friday was a holiday.
Wow.
And then Saturday we would study half day. Tell you what, we used to organize ourselves and we would take to Rwanda by then, take beans.
Beans?
Yes. We go at night. When we go at night, and then cross the border and we would sleep in the no man's land. Because they would arrest you by then if they found you. Then
on either side of the border?
The other side, they wouldn't arrest you. And actually, they wanted us. It was bad in Uganda.
Yes.
So we would take beans, we would take sorghum, we would take even wolfram, which we used to call tea. Then when we reached there, we would sell. There was a place called Murugarama near Ruhengeri town. We would sell there. Then we coming back, we would come with soap, with salt, and then we would sell here. That's how we make it.
That was interesting.
Yes.
That was some good commerce, huh?
Yes.
So you were a businessman from way back.
Yes, and that was one time. Another time we would take tobacco, we would take it through Murusumo, Muchirambo, in Rwanda also, would take their tobacco, sell, and then when we come, would buy more. That one will not bring many things. Would buy more things to take now Murugarama, where we would bring a lot to sell now in our market. I didn't want to leave that one behind.
So that is when you came face to face for the first time with actually commerce, trading of
trading and getting interested, making money.
Making money.
Yes.
What were you using that money you made for? Educating yourself?
Wow, yes. No. In primary, I was not educating myself. In primary, what I was doing, I would keep being liquid, and then I would buy goats, I would buy some pieces of land in Kabale. That's what I was doing.
So you were such an investor from a tender age.
Then when I went to secondary, that chance of going at night and whatever, and even things had changed. Because I finished the P7 in 79.
The regime now has changed.
It has changed and what, and then I couldn't do that anymore. However, I converted now into real growing of Irish potatoes.
Wow.
Up to university. Yes.
So you invested in people growing the Irish potatoes?
I would practically do with my friends, and then you plant during the holiday, and then you select seeds, and you leave them there. Then by the time you come, you'll find they have sprouted. Okay? So during what you grew, before you left for the term, you find it is ready for harvest.
Wow.
Then the other one you left as seeds, they are ready to plant. Then you would harvest, leave seeds, and then plant. Then it was like that. Exactly.
Wow.
And then we use it to grow also sorghum. Then we would grow sorghum, prepare it into this, which is ready to make umuramba. Yes, and keep it, because that one can't go bad. Then we would always sell in April, May, when it is very scarce.
The life in Chikubo was not easy.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because, I mean, you are trying to do honest business, and when you turn around to pick a product from the shelves, somebody snatches something from you. By the time you turn, you find it has been taken. So it was really not easy in Chikubo. So finally, I decided to go and do what I studied, and I thought it was easier that side, but it was also not easy.
I was about to say, have you found it easier?
Incidentally, it wasn't easy either. But it was it was something I knew. There was a vacuum there because, of course, in 1996, government had already divested itself from bringing these inputs for the farmers, and we were going into privatization. So the environment was also right for us, for me and my colleague, to start a company where we would source for these products and bring them and sell them to the farmers who needed them. There was a vacuum. There were government was no longer bringing in products. As you know, 1995, it was straight after a number of wars, and there was a fertile ground for the survival of a business if you were doing genuine business.
Genuine business.
Yes.
And that brings me to another point.
Yeah.
You as genuine business people, but also professionals in this area, I'm sure you must have faced the challenge of counterfeits also coming through into the market, then also smuggling, which for those traders or people, and they may higher return because they were competing with you directly at the same market price.
Yeah, very true. Challenges are always there. But that was also the time National Drug Authority had come into, they had enacted that law of National Drug Authority, and the National Drug Authority was charged with the regulating and making sure that these counterfeits and and the adulterated drugs were not there. Of course, there were also very many challenges because it is hard to really manage people and enforcement, and you know, even up to now, those challenges are still there. But National Drug Authority streamlined us, issued us a license. Actually, we were the first veterinary pharmacy to be licensed by National Drug Authority. Other people were operating before us. There were a number of people who were there before us, but they were not licensed. But for us, when we incorporated our company, we went ahead and we licensed our premises, and it was licensed by National Drug Authority. So they guided us through all the other things, how to import. They streamlined. They at a point started even inspecting where we were getting the products from.
Wow.
So that every product that was coming in had to come from a manufacturer who is inspected for good manufacturing practice, commonly called C compliance, CGMP.
And I started, Botuzu came. Then I started. But guess what? In the first year as I was moving, I found the chemistry was becoming much easier for me.
Then
it became a real threat to me.
In the tooth.
Yes. So by the time I finished first year, I was looking at the day I will finish first year and drop the other one as hot potatoes, which I did.
Which you did.
And I did chemistry 311 analytical.
At that point, other than it being easy, what were you imagining you were going to be after graduating?
Now, that is very interesting. But I would like to say it is very important. One who has a curve is taking, and you might not know the curve. What was in my heart was to get that qualification first. Others will come later.
I like that. So you got the qualification.
I did.
What then came after that?
Yeah, of course a job was a problem. To get what to do was a problem. Now, but however, I had the goodwill. I had the goodwill to work whatever comes in my way.
I think my upbringing also contributed so much to what I became later, because my mother was also somebody who loved to work with people. Actually, she was a volunteer for community development. So in my home, women would come to be trained in certain, to be trained, to be sensitized, how to look after their families, how to prepare good food for them. So my mother actually went to a place which I later discovered when I was at university. My colleagues who were doing medicine, human medicine, she went and trained at Mwana Mujimu in Mulango Hospital.
Wow.
So she would come back and train the village women, work with them. So that background, I think, gave me the impetus to push on and be what I am, because indeed I am involved in so many other things. And maybe the impact on my time, the time when I sleep, I sleep quite late. And but I try, when I commit to be in a certain organization, I try my level best to make sure that I offer the best I can.
When National Drug Authority started, a year before Eramo was born, around 1994.
Yes.
They came to Container Village, checked what we had. They looked at it, there were small units. They said, no, you can't deal in these small units for
veterinary medicine.
Yes. No. They gave specifications. We found actually our unit were below. So we had now
to come together.
We had now forcefully to come together and look for a unit that we could manage. And but while we were still there, I had started combining with Dr. Alice to go and buy together to get a discount.
So you look at economies of scale.
Yes. So there was another gentleman we were together to university, Dr. Muchunguzi Richard. He joined in Mohika. So that's how we came together to start Eramu Uganda Limited.
Eramu starts as a shop, like how we are.
Yeah, it was but Eramu started as a pharmacy. Only that didn't start at Container Village. We didn't have the space.
Because I imagine Container Village.
Yes, so now to remain relevant, we went to Nakawa, made Eramu Uganda Limited and started as a human pharmacy.
Human medicine pharmacy.
Yes. And we did. Now, guess what? Meanwhile, during that time, we were going to Kenya and bringing, of course,
drugs.
Like that, you negotiate, come. By that time, when NDA started, it stopped everything. Luckily enough, our Eramu Uganda Limited had started. That was our first time to use it, but it was in Nakawa. Meanwhile, we were very busy looking for where we could get a bigger space because Nakawa was off.
It was
the place, of course,
was remote.
It was remote and it was not in the center of at the heart of the business. So that's where one of the days, some of the people, they got discouraged because of the regulations. They packed the bags and then we took over and we worked on the Eramu. Yes.
But that, you started off the business, indeed, like a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Today, 30 years down the road, you're not only selling what you are buying from out, but you're also producing some of what you previously used to
purchase outside.
Help us understand that mindset shift. Was it because you got more money? Was it a deliberate strategy on your part and say, now we must grow the business? But remember when you started, you were still a government employee. Do you tell us how you resigned?
Yeah, but when we reached somewhere, of course, Eramu started, the demands of Eramu started being high. And also the time then, whatever, then I couldn't manage to continue going. Then that's when I decided to pull off and concentrate in private life.
Would you say that your informal training in business as a young pupil, trading between Uganda and Rwanda, those skills came into play now much later because nobody teaches you how to trade when you are studying chemistry?
Yeah, they were not, but luckily enough, as we became a pharmacy and we started importing now, you know, before we made Eramu, and before we were importing through a pharmacy called I cannot, Joe's Pharma, I have forgotten it. We are importing through it and bringing it into the country through someone whom I cannot recall now, that pharmacy. But now when we started. Now when we started actually getting some people to whom we could import from, some exporters, big companies. Now the good thing with these big companies, they would give us training. Yes, they started giving us training, they started giving us how to market, how to do your business, goal setting, and so forth. Yes.
So then now you go into this. Now, 30 years down the road, you have grown. What triggered the transition from being a dealer now into a manufacturer?
Yeah. Now, of course, there were suppliers. Renowned, actually, the big five, they are with Eramu. That is Pfizer. That is Nerio. That is MSD. Originally, it was Fort Dodge. Actually, the life of Eramu changed when Fort Dodge gave us a franchise.
Wow.
Where we're selling Spon Extra and Protege. Yes. So now, all that we're doing, but we discovered one thing, because being multinational companies, they are dealing with matured countries in terms of business. So their pack sizes, most of the time, were not suitable or tailored for our own market.
Okay.
So that was the beginning of the pressure to look how to expand and serve our market better. So that is what triggered.
But then, of course, the investment costs, the sourcing of the patents and all that, start manufacturing, equipment, and general operating environment, infrastructure, electricity, all this